Everybody, it is Zach here. Let me set you up. Oh wow, that was weird. It's a cup. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, I know exactly what we're going to talk about. Look at this beautiful cup Sam bought me years ago. It has all these wonderful pictures of us. She gets me the best cups. Okay, so what I would like to talk to you guys about today, specifically in this video, is I kind of found something out here with my car loan that I want to talk to you guys about. So if you don't know, I drive a 2014 Ford Focus, and I leased it, not knowing how awful leases are. Never lease if you can help it, right? If I would have known anything, it would have been this. Drive your current piece of crap car. Milk that out if you can. If you cannot, go to a credit union. Credit unions are good to work with. The first time you go in, you might get a high interest rate, but that's okay. After a year or two of building credit, if you don't have any, if you're young, after that, you'll be fine. So, what am I talking about? Okay, so I drive my Focus, and it's a lease, and in almost 3 months, I'm going to be paying, it's almost the first, so in about 4 months' time, my early lease buyout is going to come, which happens at 6 months. And what that means is your car's depreciation goes down, and then it breaks even on the graph. However you want to look at it. It breaks even. You can get out of a lot of things by doing an early lease buyout. You can you can get out of paying for excess mileage. They are, you know, if you put 50,000 miles on it, yeah, you're gonna be paying something. But if you're relatively close, let's say 2,000 miles close, I think you'll be okay. And I was gonna do that. But my problem is, if you've ever worked with the Ford credit financing system, at least with this lease, it's been garbage to me. And I truly mean that. I have went in there 3 or 4 times. I have tried to buy vehicles that were $20,000 to $25,000, and they say, nope, we can't roll over $2,000 of negative interest onto a $20,000 loan. And I think that is absolute BS. But I understand that the lease is a contract, and it's hard to break a contract, but at the same time, you're telling me that you only want the $2,000. You're not willing to take the $20,000. You just want $2,000 more. Business-wise, it does not make sense in my head, but it is a contract, and they don't want to lose money. But I wasn't asking for a deal. I said roll it all on. That's why I'm getting a $20,000 vehicle, because $2,000 on $20,000 isn't really a whole lot. You know, it's 10%, but compared to like a $10,000 vehicle, you can see what I mean. So, Sam just texted me. So, last night, playing on the computer, and I said, you know, I got a lot of stuff going on this year. I had a good year at work. I had, I bought the house. That's a huge tax credit, and for the last 3 years, with the Joe and Zach Survival channel, we make money off of it, but tax season is awful for us, because awful for me because it's under my name, but I get completely killed with taxes. Like a scary amount. Like you enter it in and you're in the negative, like, this might not sound a lot to some people, but like $8,000. And you're like, okay, well, at least I got the money set aside in an account, but still, I haven't got a refund, in like 3 or 4 years, and everybody at my work is like, oh yeah, tax refund season, I'm getting, you know, $2,000, I'm getting $6,000 because I have kids and I bought a house this year, and da 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 da. Just these crazy amounts. I'm sitting here like, I broke even. I don't owe the IRS anything. But buying this house is a huge credit. What was some of the other things I seen on there? There's a couple other things that I seen, but I typed it all in on 2 different websites just to see. Now, one website I thought was it was H&R Block. They said my refund, no. I went to the TurboTax calculator. I typed in information just roughly, like I made this much, and this year I happened to be more towards the top of the 25% bracket, and I think that goes up to about $73,000, and I'm up in there. I'm not over 70. I'm in the 60s, which I thought was pretty good for this year, and so I'm towards the top, which is good because it means that you know, I'm not. If you're in the bottom of that bracket, you're getting taxed a lot, but if you're in the top, you're not getting taxed very much. So it's good to be kind of in the top, but not over into the next one. So I typed it all in on the TurboTax website. They said I'd get like a $8,000 refund. And I'm like, no, that seems kind of high. And I was just roughing it. I obviously don't have my W-2 or my form from YouTube or anything, but I did have my actual mortgage interest rates that I was able to type in, and that's a huge thing. That's like $350 a month that's getting bumped down, which is awesome. So then I went to H&R Block and I typed it in, and they said I was going to get like almost $6,000. So if we go back to the leasing thing, this is my thoughts. Okay, I want more than anything to be debt free, and what I was going to do is I was going to take the lease in at 6 months and go get a loan for something else. And it's a really hard thing for me. I'm very, very like weird about car payments. People will take on these $400, $500, $600 truck payments. Oh my God, that just hurts thinking for me about getting a payment that's like $400 or $500. Right? The mortgage is one thing, but why have a second mortgage on a truck? Like, it has to be very justifiable. So I been looking at Ford Escapes, and they are about 11 to 12 that I've been looking at, which then you come into the problem of, will a bank give me a loan for it? Will the credit union give me a loan? Because it's older and, you know, whatever, they try to get you for 3 years. So now, after all this, it's like, well, geez, if I can get $5,000 loan, I should just get a semi-beater car, pay for it in cash. What is April 15th is the cutoff, but you know, it's going to be very close. It's going to be like, I need to plug in these numbers real quick and see, because there's not that many months worth of time. I got 4 months, and tax season is at the end of like 4 months. So hopefully this year is a good year and I can do that, because then I'm just going to take the loan. I'm going to get I'm thinking kind of more short term with this vehicle, because maybe next year will be even a better year for me. So I'm thinking we'll keep the focus, right? Because there's no reason for me to pay off a lease to put back a car that, you know, I might as well drive it to the certain amount of mileage I can and give it back. So I'm thinking, though, I'm getting a small pickup, because I don't haul anything other than that small 4x8 trailer. And the only things I would want to haul would be a 4-wheeler or a 4-wheeler. I thought maybe a snowmobile, but I don't think I'll get the money out of it. So I'm thinking a 4-wheeler, and those are no more than 1,000 pounds. So a Ranger to go up north and stuff would be like perfect for me. A Ranger and S10. I don't like Chevy though. I think Chevy's like, everybody I know with Chevy has this transmission problem, and I'm not about ready to pay $1,700 to get my transmission replaced. Anyways, so I'm thinking of getting a Ford Ranger, but I gotta look into it and see what they cost. So, yeah. Anyways, my phone's gonna stop recording because this video is getting too long. So I'm gonna upload this one and then I'll do a second video. Alright, so stay tuned.